Alright, so we get a small teaser from Borderlands 4's first story DLC, Mad Ellie and the Vault of the Damned. There's no exact release date yet, but it's supposed to come out sometime in March. The teaser itself is very short, but there are a few details in it that are worth talking about. The biggest one is that it looks like Mancubus is back. If you didn't play Borderlands 3's Guns, Love, and Tentacles DLC, Mancubus was the owner of the Lodge, which acted as the main hub area. Visually, this DLC looks very similar to that one, a frozen map paired with the same Lovecraft-style visual design. So even if this isn't a direct continuation, it's clearly pulling from the same ideas. What's interesting about Mancubus is that in Borderlands 3, he was heavily implied to be connected to the curse affecting the planet. The citizens blamed him for it, and while he never really confirmed anything, he also never really seemed bothered by what was happening. He actually says at one point that he's fine with the curse. That's already a little weird on its own, but there are a couple other details about him that never really went anywhere at the time. There are multiple references to him acquiring odd, seemingly unrelated items, but the game never really explains what he's doing with them. Another important detail is that the lodge itself can move. There's dialogue elsewhere in Borderlands 3 that describes the hotel appearing on another planet, trading for books, and then disappearing again. That pretty heavily implies that it was the same lodge. So if Mancubus shows up in Borderlands 4, the explanation might be pretty simple. The lodge moved, again. In the teaser, the environment he's shown in also lines up with interiors we've already seen associated with the lodge. There's also the fact that Mancubus wasn't the first owner of the lodge. It's been around for a long time and has changed hands, which makes it feel like less of a normal building and more like something with its own history. One last thing from Borderlands 3 that's worth mentioning is that the statue in the lodge's basement, it says, "Beware the fury of a patient man." That line never really meant anything back then, but it's hard not to think about it now that Mancubus is showing up again. So as for what this DLC is actually about, I don't know. I have no clue. But I don't think there's enough information to say anything for sure. But the title does specifically mention a vault, and Mancubus being a long-term collector makes it reasonable to think he's here because of what's inside of it. That doesn't automatically mean he's the villain or that he's the main focus of the DLC, it just means that there's probably a reason that he's involved. The other big question is Ellie. No pun intended. We see a crashed ship at the start of the teaser, and Ellie is confirmed to be part of the DLC, but we don't know how those things connect yet. Did she arrive that way? Was she already there? Was she involved at all? Right now, we know nothing in that aspect, but we can probably expect a trailer in the coming weeks. So yeah, there's not a ton to go off of yet, but there are enough familiar pieces here to at least start guessing what Gearbox might be doing. Also, I should probably mention, I did use EruptionFang's video on Mancubus as a cheat sheet. Jesus Christ, dude, that's a fucking tongue twister. But I forgot everything about Mancubus. I mean, this shit was like, what, 4 years ago? I don't even know. I forgot. It's been a while. Yeah, let me know what you think.